What is going on, everybody? Today we are at the Utah International Auto Expo. We're going to check out some new cars and review some of the latest models. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the 2023 GR Corolla, and it's a really popular vehicle. This is a hot hatch, and the reason it's so powerful is because of the powertrain, which I'll talk about here in just a second. Now, the GR Corolla comes in 3 different trim levels. It starts at the Core, which is $35,900, goes up to the Circuit for $42,900, which includes a limited slip differential and a carbon fiber roof, and then the top of the line Morizo Edition, which is $49,900. Now, the GR Corolla does have a few additional treatments compared to the regular Corolla. You do, as you can see, have a little bit of a wide body, and you have the 3 exhaust ports back here, 1 for each cylinder, which is pretty cool to see back here. Overall, it's a pretty good looking vehicle, and the price is pretty competitive considering a Civic Type R is more expensive but has the same 0 to 60. Speaking of 0 to 60, this thing will do that in just around 5 seconds flat, and you'll reach a top speed of 142.9 miles per hour. I'm not sure why they don't just round up to 143. Okay, so the coolest part about the GR Corolla is, of course, the powertrain. So you do get a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder engine that produces 300 horsepower. So that's essentially 100 horsepower per cylinder. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably the most powerful 3-cylinder engine on the market right now. So it is turbocharged 3. It does produce 300 horsepower, and it has 273 pound-feet of torque. Now, Toyota mates this to an all-wheel drive setup. So you do have 4-wheel drive as standard no matter what trim level you get, and you only get the option of a 6-speed manual transmission. So for everybody who loves 6-speed manuals, well, this is the only transmission you can get on the GR Corolla. Let's take a look at the interior. Starting off with the door panel, this is all hard touch plastic, which is a little disappointing considering this is kind of a expensive-ish vehicle. This is cloth over here, so it is soft touch over here where you're resting your elbow, but again, this isn't meant to be a luxury vehicle. It's meant to be a sports car, and look at those seats. They look really nice. They're bucket seats, and climbing on the inside, let's take a look at what the display looks like. So you do have a 12.3-inch all-digital instrument gauge cluster display, which is pretty impressive. The steering wheel itself does not have a flat bottom, but it feels pretty okay in the hands. It's a little bit thinner than I'd like, and I'd like some bigger 10 and 2 notches, but I'm not going to complain too much. On the left-hand side over here, you do have your audio controls, and then on the right-hand side is your cruise control. Moving over here, you do have an 8-inch touchscreen, which is not too small. Although I complain about this size of a screen on larger vehicles, this is such a small car that 8 inches really isn't that bad. You do have your climate control settings over here. These are just, typical regular knobs. They don't feel too bad, but there's nothing luxurious about this interior because, well, this is a sport car. This is kind of a soft touch material. This over here is also soft touch up on the dashboard, which is nice. Moving further down here, you do have a wireless charging pad. You do have heated seats for the driver and passenger side. You have your different drive modes over here, a traction control off button. This is the obviously 6-speed manual transmission. You've got another selector over here with your track settings, and this is your manual handbrake. So no electronic handbrake for those of you that hate that. What's weird about this vehicle is there is no center armrest. They've gotten rid of that, I think for the sake of weight reduction, but I don't really know how much a little armrest is going to really weigh. So I would have just preferred they included an armrest here so you can actually rest your arm when you're shifting through the gears or when you're just holding on this handbrake. Would have been nice to have some sort of soft padding over here, but let's jump into the second row. Okay, jumping back here, I don't imagine this is going to be soft touch material, and no, it is not. It is hard touch plastic, and again, the seats are pretty plain. There's nothing really to report back here. Oddly enough, you do have a center armrest for the second row, which you don't have for the front row. There is a little power outlet over here, a 12-volt adapter, and you have a USB port, but no rear air vents, but that's kind of common amongst a subcompact vehicle like this. Okay, now let's quickly just show off what the trunk looks like. This is a hatchback. That's why I called it a hot hatch. This competes with like a GTI or a Civic Type R. Pretty good amount of space back here, nothing too crazy, and then there's just a little bit of storage back here, but not much else to report in the cargo area of your GR Corolla. Now, I do want to talk about the wheels. You do get 15-spoke, 18-inch wheels wrapped around Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, and you do get 4-piston front brake calipers with ventilated slotted rotors, so that is a nice feature to have when you're going on some aggressive track days. You also do have a sport-tuned suspension, and you do come with a lot of basic safety features that Toyota throws in a lot of their vehicles, which includes Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which has blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and the suite of safety features you would expect from a modern vehicle. Now, I do want to briefly talk about curb weight because it's only 3,300 pounds for this vehicle, so you do have a lot of power and a pretty light powertrain, which should make this vehicle really fun to drive. But let me know what you think about the GR Corolla. Would you take this over a Civic Type R or maybe a Golf R, or would you take the others and why? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all of the weekly car videos. Also check me out on all the social media down in the description below at Schwazy_. And until next time, everybody, I hope you stay Schwazy, stay healthy, have a wonderful day.